In this video, we're going to do a brief overview of the solar install on my ambulance conversion. With some Serco 8-inch rise gutter mount brackets and some unistrut, I have the two 590 watt panels mounted securely to the roof. We'll find out tomorrow when we go for our drive how well it does. I ran the solar cables through the roof behind the cabinet, and I'm going to feed those down into the electrical panel as well. Here I have the two wires fed in, and I just need to put the ends back on. I found a convenient out of the way place to mount the 32 amp breaker for the solar panels. From there we bring the wires down and we plug them into the bottom of the charge controller, and then we bring our battery cables out, and I've run the positive to the positive on the ambulance board, and I've run the negative up to the negative bus bar at the top of the panel. The main positive cable from this panel goes up and through the cabinet and down behind the wall and underneath, and it comes back up underneath the driver's seat where the isolator is. I got this piece of diamond tread aluminum from my local Lowe's, screwed it into the wood on that panel, and that's what I've mounted my electrical to, and I have room for expansion if I want to add any more components. And I plan on putting another one of those panels on the wall behind the passenger seat, and that's where I'll be putting the Victron inverter when I get it. I have the extended cab version of the ambulance, so behind the driver's seat I've put down a 2-inch piece or 1.5-inch piece of styrofoam, and I have a couple of battery tie downs screwed to the floor. And here is my where I turn the battery power on and off, and I have 2 mega fuses, 125 amp, that's controlling the battery power, and I have 100 amp that those cables actually go to my Vanner 1000 watt converter that's behind the passenger seat, and that's what I run everything on until I get ready to upgrade to the Victron 3000 watt. And I have the Renogy power 12 volt 600 amp hour battery that I'm going to put right in here and connect. So this is the battery. It's 12 volt 600 amp Renogy power. It's about 2 feet long, weighs about 105 pounds, and I'm going to slide that in there. I've got my connector, my Anderson connector for my 80 amp lithium battery charger that I can use to maintain this when it's not in here. It gets pretty cold here in North Dakota, so I take it out and I put it in my heated garage for the winter. There, the battery is installed. I have an additional 200 amp fuse there, and it gives me a little bit of a pivot play in the cable to get things adjusted good. It's grounded to chassis. That's an 8 gauge wire going straight to a chassis ground. The biggest load I have is a 1,000-watt inverter, so that's plenty of wire for that. When I move up to the 3,000-watt inverter, I'll have to readdress that with a larger gauge cable. But there it is installed, and we are ready to turn on the power. And I'm not sure where the, oh, let me look in here. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but I have 14 volts. All of my other electrical is in this panel. I have my 150/85 Victron inverter, and I have my disconnect from my panels, and it's tied in with the ambulance board. All the electricity is all in there. I have a little remote sensor for my thermometer. I have a few of those throughout that tell me temperatures. I know I have things in here that I can remove. I just haven't figured out what they are and haven't removed it yet, and it doesn't bother me. So let's turn on the panels and let's see what we get. We are parked in the shade. The light's starting to blink, and it looked, the absorption light came on, so we must be getting some charge. And our gauge went up to 14.2, 14.3, so we are getting solar, and we are ready. As you can see, there's plenty of room behind that seat in a driving position, and I keep my little 3-gallon bucket back there. Good places I need to put it. So with that door all closed up, I have a command hook on there, and that works to store my little folding table. One of them, I have a larger one in the outside compartment. Everything works out pretty good. I have some more of them on this wall for my broom and my vacuum, and it's a work in progress. Got the house style refrigerator, which, because the battery's hooked up now and the inverter is on, got a kid-proof lock on it, and yes, the power is on. So everything is up and running. I have two Renogy 590-watt bifacial N-type solar panels on the roof. They're tied in series, and have them on a piece of unistrut going across gutter mounts, and I have two of them. And I've been 10,000 miles like that and haven't had any issues. I had a water tank heating pad on the side of my battery, and I had to warranty that battery, so I used a heat gun, and I got this heat pad off as best as I could, and I put it on a piece of sheet metal, and I forgot to install it under that battery, but I don't think I'll be needing it until winter, and then I'll be taking the battery out again. So I'll just put this whole piece of metal under the battery on top of that styrofoam, and I have the little thermostatic control and a fuse and a temperature sensor. Pretty simple setup. I just don't need to put it in there for now. If I have to take the battery out for any reason, I'll put it in again at that point. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell for any upcoming videos.